How you doing out there, folks? Thanks for stopping by. Here we are once again at the off night. The off night, that's right, the off night. It's an interesting place to come to on the off night. We got some good music. Well, we actually have those. It's a good show. You're gonna enjoy it. Got a lot of things to discuss: immigration, inflation, and science. A lot of science going on today. We're gonna talk about the planets. We're gonna talk about Euro, and we'll talk about COVID. Okay, but the fun part is all be humor. We're gonna be doing humor, all humor today. So your host and MC, the great guy, will be Mark Sweetman.
Hey,
Mark Sweetman.
How you doing, Andy?
Good. I have a frozen picture, but I can hear you, so we're okay.
No, I'm waving my hands. Can you see me?
I can only see you as a young child.
Is everybody else see that?
Back in the past, and there's Mark. He's a young boy.
That's actually my son, but I expected him to look like me. Because I didn't give him birth. I'm hoping he looks like me, actually.
Remember, I feel like it was some sort of time traveling episode of Star Trek. Yeah, really. I see you as a young person. I understand, and there we are. Come on, where are we going? We gotta go around the stars.
If you get a chance, Google or YouTube Maurice LaMarche and his primer on how to do William Shatner.
Okay.
It's a very funny piece. He's riding in his car with his manager, and they started doing a video selfie, and he basically it's a 7-minute clip of him explaining how easy it is to do William Shatner and all the things that need to be included into your William Shatner impression. Exactly. I think you'll enjoy it. Anyway, I'm considering, before we bring on our other regulars, I want to talk to you because you are the other hirsute member of our cast, and I'm considering getting rid of the beard for the. I've had it for 5 years now, and I'm getting sick of what.
No.
All right.
Keep it.
Just for the one.
Do you think you look? So you're saying you look younger, a younger person with a beard?
No, the hair is dark, right?
Yeah.
Am I been? See, it looks gray here in the light, but it's much darker than my beard, and the only dark part is the Hitler part. In between my nostrils.
The nostrils, or we can say Chaplin, one of the two. Okay.
Okay, I guess I should go with Chaplin. That's
go with Chaplin part. There we go.
Then Hitler, but. Nobody ever calls it the Chaplin mustache. Once Hitler came Chaplin ruled the mustache in the 20s and 30s. By the time the 40s it came along, Hitler put the kibosh on that mustache style, pretty much. But anyway, I'm considering it. I'm just getting.
I think you could do it. I'm not sure I can because I've got. I'm not sure what my chin levels are at this point. The beard kind of hides that. So.
Well, you're right about that, but I've lost a lot of weight since I grew the beard. It'd be interesting to see what it looks like. But the thing is, once you shave it off, you can't put it back on. So it'd be kind of like, oh my God, I got 8 chins, and it's going to take 8 weeks to get it back covered up. So
yeah. So
anyway. So that's the non-news I wanted to talk about with you. Let's get into our news stuff. So let's bring in our other regulars. Reporting in from Florida, and I'm still working on when she moves back to Michigan. She's a snowbird, so when she moves back up north after the winter, I'm going to have to find somebody else down in Florida. Maybe not every week, but just somebody to report in for Florida. Because I'm worried about Florida. It just kind of hangs out and it acts like it's just hanging out. You know what I mean? We could talk about that, what's going on in Miami right now. But without further ado, here's our friend, our fellow comedian and former reporter, Kathy Ryan. Welcome.
Good evening.
Good to see you here.
I will tell you that it was warmer in Michigan today than it was in Florida. So
74. We got 74 today.
It got to 64 here, and cold and dreary and But
Here's what
anyway,
here's what I don't like about the 70s in March. I have got a magnolia tree that,
Oh,
when you think of magnolias, you think of, when you think of magnolias, you do think of the South.
yeah.
But I had one in my I live in Livonia in the suburb of Detroit, but when I lived in Detroit, I had a beautiful magnolia tree. So then I moved to Los Angeles, I had one out there, and that one grew fine. But then I got back to Detroit and I moved into this place. Let's see, my son is 22 years ago, and planted this tree. It's now like 3.5 feet. In 22 years, I've got a 3.5 foot tall magnolia tree. And the reason is every March it buds because it gets to be 70s here.
Yeah.
And it's thinking, I'm a southern tree. It must be February. It must be March.
Yeah.
And then we get a cold snap in April and kills all the buds, and the tree doesn't grow anymore. So
Yeah.
and we should.
I've always said I remember too many opening days in Tiger baseball that were snowed out. So I never get too excited about that 70 degrees in March because we're going to get hit again.
I've been to 2 opening days. The first one was dreadful, and I froze my ass off. I mean, I felt like I was at a Lions game when they played at Tiger Stadium back in December.
In January, yeah.
Yeah, they never played in January back when
That's
they were at
true.
Tiger Stadium.
That's true.
Remember that? They never made it that far in the playoffs back when they played at Tiger Stadium.
Oh, yeah.
Because the last time the Lions won a championship in '57, the championship was over with Christmas week. Yeah, exactly. So anyway, and then the next time I went, somebody taught me into it. I said, if the weather's nice, I'll go. And they great tickets and everything. And I went, and it was great. And I said, I am not going to break that streak. That was the best open game. And it was
yeah, there you go.
It was a lot of fun. Anyway, let's get our other regular out here. Always save him for last because once we get Sam on, it's the Sam show. So
yeah.
But I don't mind that. That's why we like having him.
It makes it easy for us.
I don't know if he's a former. I guess you're never a former comic. He's a comic and a radio guy, and like myself, he's trying to raise a black daughter. We have a lot in common. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen. How about a welcome for Sam Green, ladies and gentlemen?
I just think it's. Thank you all. I think that one of the great ironies. Can you turn me up? Is it me?
You're fine.
I can hear you.
You are always super loud, Sam.
All right, that's fine. Screw it. I always think there's a great irony in the fact that Star Trek, the 2 stars of Star Trek, are Canadian Jews.
There should be a permanent. There should be a permanent meme with that information out there somewhere.
Yeah.
And Shatner, I guess you talked about this, is 90 today.
Yeah. That's right.
That's right. Yeah, I know that because my daughter's 18 and they share a birthday, and it's
amazing career he's had. Amazing.
Yeah. Yes, there was a great. He has the best quote for any actor, anybody coming up. The quote was, "Nobody knows nothing," because he got so much crap for his acting in Shakespeare and his acting in Star Trek, and it's like he's a terrible actor. He's not a terrible actor. He just he's committed.
I was talking to someone about him, and they said, the cast of Star Trek hated him, and I went, I don't care.
Yeah,
I just don't. Why would I care?
Yeah.
Hey,
but Boston Legal. I mean, Denny Crane.
He won an Emmy for that.
I know it. I know. Fabulous. Just I could watch that show over and over and over. I love it.
He was there was a TV series in the 60s called The Defenders with E.G. Marshall and Robert Reed, who later went on to be Mr. Brady.
Right.
Yes.
They played father and son lawyers.
Yes.
And the first episode, God, I'm old. The first episode was it was shot in New York, black and white, and it shows William Shatner walking down the street. Now, this is so long ago that men wore hats.
Yeah.
Okay. And he's walking down the street. It's a busy day in New York. and he bumps into a hard hat. And the hard hat guy says, "What, you can't watch where you're going?" And he goes, "I'm very sorry. Please excuse me." And he goes, "No, you're not sorry. You're one of these guys, blah, blah, blah." And he goes, "Please, if I just," and he shoves Shatner. And Shatner says, "Leave me alone, please." And he shoves Shatner. And he shoves him again. And Shatner kills him. Because Shatner was a former Ranger in the Army.
Uh-huh.
And it triggered that thing that happens sometimes. So now he's on trial for murder.
Mm-hmm.
And they're arguing his case beautifully. He was pushed into this, and the jury is buying it, and everything's going great. And they recess for the day, and the dead hard hat's brother jumps over the guardrail thing, at the courtroom. And he goes, "You killed my brother, blah, blah, blah." And he takes a swing at him, and Shatner kills him.
Oh, jeez.
It was a great episode. Great.
Yeah.
Nice.
And Sterling Silliphant, who did Route 66, created Route 66,
Yeah.
he was the creator of that. They had some great writers.
Yeah.
And Shatner
And they had people on it like Ossie Davis, just, one great star after another.
Do you remember Shatner's Twilight Zone?
Yes. Yeah.
A classic, the one that was recreated by John Lithgow in the movie.
Yes.
Yeah. It was 35,000 feet, and then the one where he was afraid of leaving the town because of superstition.
Right.
Yep.
Both of them are classics,
Yeah.
But I mean,
that was also the movie where Vic Morrow was killed.
Yeah.
Along with those two kids.
Yeah.
More anti-Asian violence.
There you go.
So, all right, here was my big question of the week. If you guys weren't watching my social media feeds, how long do you think it is before the Asian Lives Matter movement gets called Marxist, or
it's called what?
Marxist?
Communist or Marxist? Communism?
Yeah. It won't be. The racism against them isn't within a mile of the racism against African Americans.
I would say I heard some interesting stuff about racism and dealing with Asians. And one of the things that came up was talking about the good minority. Have you heard this before?
No.
I'm not sure I'm using the right term, but it's the honorable minority or something like that. I guess it was
like the good Negro.
Yeah, basically it was the minority whom we can count on and not fear. Basically, it was trying to insult the blacks by uplifting the Asians. And so now they're just as upset with that because it puts them in all. These people were saying it puts Asians in a horrible position. But as far as there's another shooting today in Colorado too, and I'm thinking that
was anybody killed?
Yes,
well, I think a lot. Yeah,
a lot of people.
Yeah, they don't. It's a mass shooting. They don't have numbers yet, but.
Yeah. It was in a supermarket of some sort.
This is for all the people who wanted things to get back to the way they were,
Yeah.
So now we're back. Now we've had two mass shootings in 2 weeks. So we're back.
Can I say something about the Asian spa thing and from a woman's perspective?
Thank you. Yes. Let's go.
Yeah. I get the Asian thing. It's timely right now. But I think this is a bigger problem about how the exploitation of women, especially young Asian women, sex workers, they've always been sexualized, and it's Asian spa. They've got that Asian in the title, and I read a little bit about this guy that did it. Sometimes crazy is just crazy. I'm not sure he was bright enough to formulate an anti-Asian thing in his mind. He wanted those women dead or those people dead because they caused him to have evil thoughts and dirty thoughts.
Yeah, there's another direction too that this thing goes in, and that is, he was part of this church, and they had to take his picture off their website and all that stuff.
Exactly. Yeah.
What we got to do something with churches too that allow their perverts to go a different direction than killing people. There's got, you know what I mean? I realize you can't
masturbate now. Masturbate now.
I realize he wasn't really in a position to go to his pastor and say, I gotta have a happy ending. I just can't go on anymore.
Yeah. Well, and somebody from the church even put out a statement not condemning that he killed these people, but condemning him for his dirty thoughts. And and we had to get him out of the church because of his dirty thoughts. No, he just killed all these people. How about we prioritize?
Jesus.
If they would just let him masturbate, it would probably solve a lot of problems.
Girlfriend has just given in.
I think Jesus, though, probably Sam's back. Jesus would have Jesus would visit him in prison. I mean, so not the Republican Jesus. I always forget that.
Yeah, I was going to say, we need to quantify this. Yeah.
Yeah, the Republican Jesus, the historical Jesus would visit him. The Republican Jesus, not so much.
As much. Yeah.
There's more YouTubes you should see. You got to see that. You got to see the Republican Jesus YouTubes. Oh my God.
There is a and I ask myself about these 6 women who were shot. Suppose it had been 6 African American women or 6 Jews.
Yeah.
They absolutely would have said it was racist.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
well, the racism is in that it's the racism is how we, I don't want to say accept, but how we, Asian massage parlors. I mean, how everybody knows what that is. You know what I mean?
Sure.
It's ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like if you had said he had gone to a Swedish massage parlor or a Russian massage parlor, or an athletic trainer, and nobody would have thought he was going there to get the deed done,
Yeah.
Get the happy ending.
But because that's where the racism is that assuming that the Asians are the sex servants or whatever.
Exactly.
Well, has anybody seen Swedish massage parlors anymore?
We got one. We got a Finnish. We have a Swedish and a Finnish massage parlor in.
Mark, look at your hair. You look like you just got frightened.
The thought of that Swedish massage person.
The Swedish massage. The Swedish massage did it.
I'm just saying.
There we go.
The interesting thing is, is that I'm kind of going like, so he went from one Asian one to another Asian one. I wonder what's on that street, if that was all just Asian.
They were right. Exactly. Well, they showed that they were right across the street from each other. They were, and there was it was kind of a little bit of a seedy neighborhood, and there was just a string of places like that. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what, they say seedy neighborhood, but then they introduced the kids whose mother died, who managed the place. And they were like middle America, the single mom trying to raise the kids. And one of the ones killed was the handyman for the place, who was basically the janitor or maintenance man or whatever.
Yeah.
I guess.
If you go any manicure place, if you go for your manis and pedis, those are all Vietnamese women.
Yep.
And they sit and chatter in their Vietnamese, and I'm always wondering what they're saying about me. But you're guaranteed that.
One of the things,
and you wonder what they owe the owner of that place, if there's some form of an indentured servitude, if you will.
Well, I'm sure that is a case. I mean, there's always been, that's another part of the trafficking that people kind of leave out of the picture, is that you've got a bunch of people.
There's a Chinese family near us that does back and foot massages.
Oh,
and they call it acupressure instead of acupuncture.
Yes.
Yeah.
And my wife and I, once in a while, we just want to get, it's very invigorating. Once in a while, we'll go over to them, and we remain clothed, and they take care of your back and your legs and your feet, and your buttocks and your buttocks and your groin are ignored, and
you're getting me hot.
As I say, they ignore that. Well, then never mind.
Yeah.
Well, Mark, when I was driving cab, there was 2 Asian spas in the city of Ann Arbor.
Yeah.
They were doing the happy ending, whatever. And I didn't really know about this until I got involved in the driving of cabs myself. And they said, the Australians would come in and say, is there a place in town? And the guys at the office knew that the Asian spa was there.
Yeah.
And then apparently they would actually advertise it as they were flying in.
Yeah.
To this area.
Right.
So Ann Arbor is the conduit for Asians, for Australians to meet Asians. Is that what you're saying?
I would say that's what I'm saying. But they finally broke them up. Some of the descriptions of the places is that they would never let them out of the place.
Exactly.
Once in a while they would be allowed to go out and shop, but they would shop in a group. There would be they were always being watched, and then they'd be going back in.
That was like white slavery.
And that's why the woman, the manager of the place, whose 2 young sons were interviewed, she lived in a crappy little trailer in back of the place. And sometimes she wouldn't go home for, a week or 2. Well, I wonder who else was living in that trailer too. They're not, really up and up businesses.
No, Andy knows my bit about it. I don't know if I'll ever be able to do it again now, but
yeah, probably not.
Wait a minute. What? I give me the first line of the bit.
The line I do is that gets the big laugh is that the police commander every Friday morning goes, "All right, anybody not investigated this place yet?"
I know. Okay.
It's the one where I say, I talk about how this is a bit that I first saw in Richmond, Indiana. God, it's got to be 35 years ago.
Richmond, Indiana. God.
Richmond, Indiana.
Comedy Caravan.
Here's how old. This bit is so old that it wasn't an Asian massage parlor; it was an Oriental massage parlor. So,
wow.
Wow.
That's not even politically correct.
That's old.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's how old it is. And I said, I'm reading it, and so I said, I would retire this bit because the story and every 18 months at a maximum, sometimes more sooner, this story pops up. And the latest time was I'd mentioned the town, Houston. I go in every time I go to the local newspaper online and I read the article, and they don't take but 4 or 5 paragraphs before they get to the line that says, after an 18-month investigation.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
I'm thinking 18 months. They got guys in the squad room going, all right, anybody not investigated this place yet? Yeah. Charlie, calm down. You've been in 5 times, And,
yeah.
And your report what happened in Ann Arbor. It took them 18 months to get through this thing.
Well, that's my joke. We'll have to see how well that plays after this story. But that's been, and in my bit now, in my act, I had mentioned that it's a story that I let go, and then every 18 months, there's another story about an Asian massage parlor fronting as a prostitution ring.
Yeah, I mean, it's I was raised on Mel Brooks, and it's sort of like all the Mel Brooks humor is gone. They won't let you do the Mel Brooks humor. So.
Oh my God. Watch Blazing Saddles with your kids or grandkids. Just find somebody that you get along with who thinks you're cool and hip, or at least bearable, and watch Blazing Saddles with them, and you'll start to snicker. I start to cry. I want to laugh so hard, and they're like, "Oh, Dad, that's horrible."
My daughter won't let me watch that. Oh no, she won't. No, she won't watch that with me. Oh,
it's gonna be. It's good when he passes. I know he's 95 now, but he's going to pass away here soon. And when he does, everybody's going to be watching it. It's going to be, oh man, and the thing is, we knew it was bad when it came out. That was the thing that was attractive about it. I was in the 8th grade, so I'd have been 13 going on 14 when that came out, and it was sneaking in the theater to see that. You would have thought I was going to a porno or something.
But see, the thing that people don't realize, it's kind of like when people criticize Tarantino because he uses the N-word so much, okay?
Right.
But the people in his movies who use that word are bad people.
Exactly.
They're thugs, they're crooks, they're killers.
Right.
You know, they're not, you know, it's not the teacher of the year. It's very bad people. So the people in Blazing Saddles who, you know, act and behave in a bad way are bad people. Hedley Lamar, I said it's Hedley. Okay.
Yeah.
They're bad people. So they say bad things.
Yes,
the whole town, you know, when you know our brand new, you know, I mean, they're racist.
My dad, when he found out I went to see it, he goes, "Oh," and he acted like he was disappointed. I thought he was going to get upset with me. He goes, "Oh no! If I'd known you were going, I would have told you who. I can't think of his name now. The band leader that was in the desert."
Count Basie.
He goes, he goes, if I'd known you were going, I would have told you who Count Basie was. You had that point of reference.
Yeah.
I love the fact that his saddlebag was Gucci.
Yes.
It's like people lose the fact that it's absolute satire.
Oh,
yeah.
You know, there's something that some Jewish friends of mine, well, I have some Jewish friends of mine have a problem with Mel Brooks about the Nazi thing, because Mel Brooks' attitude is, if we make fun of the Nazis, excuse me, it weakens them. And my friends say, Mel, they're Nazis. Okay, it's 2000. At the time we had this discussion, it's 2008, and there's 6 million of us who are no longer alive because of these people who you want to make light of. And that's their attitude. You can't make light. And so, you know, what was the Springtime for Hitler? They hate, you know, I have friends who are Jewish. They won't see that movie. They saw it once. They will never see it again. They're producers. Never. Won't see it because they feel that you can't make light of that.
Yeah.
I went to Wayne State as a freshman from a Catholic school in the suburbs, and my sweet mate was Elliot Prague, now a world-renowned chef. But at the time, he was a year ahead of me. He was a sophomore. I was a freshman. He was a Jew. I was Catholic. He goes, the producers. It's playing
I
over
smell sitcom.
He says, yeah, exactly. He says the producers is playing over at the Detroit Libraries Theater. Our public library downtown has a huge, beautiful theater. I think it's a gem because people don't know about it. He goes, you got to see this. I go, well, what time is it? He says, it's at 1:00. I go, I got class at 2:00. He goes, all right, we're going to send somebody to class for you. I know it's your first day in class. We're going to send somebody to class for you and record it for you. You've got to
take notes.
To take notes for me. So he arranged to have somebody go to this freshman biology class, Dr. Levine's class. He says,
those Jews.
He says, it's just,
they're always working an angle, aren't they?
I tell you.
He said, he's Dr. Levine will understand, you know. So anyway,
sure.
So he takes me to see the producers. That was my first day at college, was required viewing. If I was going to be his friend, I had to see the producers.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
And that was, oh my God, I never laughed so hard in my life. It was like, I knew Mel Brooks from Young Frankenstein and Blazing Saddles. I had never heard of the producers. The next week, we went and saw the library had 12 chairs. Did you ever see that? Did you ever see 12 chairs?
Ron Moody.
Yeah, Ron Moody, exactly. That was a great film. I mean, not nearly.
You know what I saw today? Turner Classic Movies is showing some phenomenal films. My favorite year.
Oh,
I love that. Oh my God, Richard Benjamin, that one.
Yeah, Peter O'Toole.
Yep.
Mark Lynn-Baker. Selma Diamond. Bill Macy. My favorite line in that movie, and there's so many, but it's when Alan Swan, the Peter O'Toole character, goes to Benji, the Markland character, goes to his mother's house for dinner.
Mm-hmm.
And she says to Alan Swan, Swanee, and Markland Baker goes, Mom, he's an actor, not a river. God, that movie.
Rookie Karaoke. Are you
what is this pungent meat? Parrot. And you look up at the cage and the parrot's gone. And he goes, you got to be careful. These are Jews. I can't serve pork. And one of the funny things is Lou Jacoby, the great Lou Jacoby, is Canadian. He's from Toronto.
Wow.
Got no problem with Canadian Jews.
That 16-year-old girl, did you stop her? What, did you go all the way? Also, when he comes into the writer's room, and Bill Macy goes, he's plastered. And he goes, so are some of the finest directions in Europe. If I was truly plastered, could I do this? Senor Bombacelli, hold my sword. And he does that somersault and just passes out with his legs wrapped around the projector. And Joe Bologna goes, well, we know he can do that.
That's such a good film.
He comes to life and says, double the bet, you toad. It's like,
yes. Double the bet. Yeah. Oh, and also when he dances with the older woman in the nightclub. By the way, that's Gloria Stewart, who played the older woman in Titanic.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, please, Mr. Swan, we can't have you do what happened last time. When asked what he was doing naked in the Bethesda fountain at 2:30 in the morning, Swan replied, the backstroke. God damn it, Benji, we can't. And then somebody stole my gal, and the band breaks into somebody stole my gal.
There you go.
Oh, God, that movie was just amazing.
Yeah,
do you guys ever binge do you guys ever binge anything? Any shows?
Say again?
Do you binge any shows? Binge watching? Do any binge watching?
If it's a show that I like, I've already watched it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like in other words, I've never seen one episode of Walking Dead.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen that either.
And my wife watches it religiously. And that's fine, but I know I'll never watch it. I'll tell you what I'm binge watching now, and this is a 15-year-old show, Scrubs.
Oh yeah, isn't that
because the writing is so brilliant?
Yeah,
my kids,
and it's worth it just for John McGinley.
Yeah, yeah.
My two oldest boys, I can't remember, they're 35 and 32 now, but when they were in college, they bought. I can't remember which one bought. One of them bought the other one, the whole series set, back when they were. Back when they were in DVDs
of Scrubs.
Of Scrubs, yeah. So they've got the whole collection.
Well, it's fun. It's funny you say that because I'm on the Screen Actors Guild committee to award the Screen Actors Guild's awards. So here, let me get up and show you. I get mail DVDs.
Wow.
I have here. Let me see what I have. I have what I thought was the best movie I saw this year, The Five Bloods.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot believe, here it is. I cannot believe that Delroy Lindo was not nominated. That floors me.
Yeah.
I have Bridgerton.
I saw that. I saw both of those.
Dead to Me with Christina Applegate and Linda Cardellini.
Haven't seen that.
Oh,
The Trial of the Chicago 7.
That's very good. Very good.
I saw The Trial of the Chicago 7. I enjoyed that very much.
Yeah,
Ma Rainey's Black Bottom.
I
haven't seen that yet, but it's on my list to see before the awards.
Judas and the Black Messiah.
How is that? I haven't seen that either.
Haven't seen it yet. The Little Things and A Promising Young Woman.
The Little Things.
Saw
Is that
Promising
Tom
Young
Hanks
Woman
film?
just recently.
That's with Jared Leto.
Oh, Jared Leto.
And I believe someone said he sucked, but he was nominated for a Screen Actors Guild Best Supporting Actor.
Mm-hmm.
Did he get nominated?
He's a very strange man.
Yeah.
Oh yes, I saw him
Yeah.
interviewed the other day on one show, and he is strange.
By
What
the
was
way,
Dead to Me? What was
Huh?
Dead to Me was what category was Dead to Me nominated in?
hold on, I'll tell you in a second. My father used to say that to me.
That was comedy, wasn't it?
No. 3 SAG Award nominations. Outstanding performance by an ensemble. It's a comedy.
Oh.
It is a comedy.
Yeah, it is. It's a dark
Outstanding
one.
performance
It's
by a
fine.
female actor. An outstanding performance by a female actor, Linda Cardellini and Christina Applegate.
Yeah, Linda Cardellini was in Bloodline. Did anybody watch that? It was an old Netflix series about a family down in the Florida Keys that
Yes.
was more dysfunctional than mine, which I never thought possible. But
And she was in Green
My
Book.
favorite one she was in was
Yes.
Freaks and Geeks.
Huh?
She was in Freaks and Geeks.
And she was in Legally Blonde.
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh,
yeah. She just
she
sort
had
of
the
pops in
Go ahead, I'm
strange
sorry.
things. She just sort of pops up in strange things. Who is that actress? And then you know,
she was
you
also
start
in Mad
remembering.
Men. She played the woman what's his name? John Hamm was having the affair with his neighbor's wife.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Geez.
All right, let's get back into stuff I've seen.
All right.
Yeah, it's all about you, Mark.
Oh, you've seen Mad Men.
It's all about me. I have not seen Mad Men. Is that
the Muppet Show?
How many seasons is that?
7. You should see Mad Men.
Because my speed, I gauge everything on the first show I ever binged because I could not stop watching it was Breaking Bad, and that was 5 seasons.
Oh God, the best ending of any show ever.
That was 5 seasons long.
The best ending ever.
5
Nothing
seasons
comes
long.
close.
And I didn't start watching it until the final seasons when everybody's making a big deal of the final season. So when that started, I started watching from episode 1, and by the time they got them all in, I was ready to watch the last 3 episodes, but I had to wait a week between the last 2 because I had been watching them one after another, and I just got hooked on it.
And Anna Gunn, wow.
Yes, she was great.
Now I have an argument here.
Yes.
All right.
I think that the better ending, even though I love the ending of the 5th season, I think the better ending was the 4th season, because
how did that end?
It ended where he poisoned the boy, and we didn't know he did it. And the last scene is he says we won, and the camera closes up on the flower that he got the poison from.
Oh.
So the audience knows he did it.
Right.
Nobody else knows, but we know how corrupt he is.
Oh, okay.
And to me, I think that is more truthful ending than the going out. But still, the last year of that was great. Having him go back through and getting all those guys, to maneuver it around the storyline.
I have a very strange reason for liking the ending, besides the fact of the machine gun and all that, and when Jesse kills that guy, the way he killed him, But when he lays dying, and the song is "Guess I Got What I Deserved," that is just genius. That is just so. Oh, by the way. Speaking of counter genius, I'm changing the subject a little. I'm sorry. I've been dying to talk about this. Donald Trump is establishing his own social platform.
Yeah. Like he gave us health care too. Yeah. I'll believe it when I see it.
And here's what's going to happen. It will die a horrible death. People will watch it a little at first or listen to it or whatever, but it's going to be the same thing every day. I won the election.
Yep.
The election was rigged.
Yep.
And if you insult me or demean me, you must die. That's going to be the entire length and breadth of it, and I think it will die. And also, I don't think you can have a social platform in prison.
Yeah.
Tailing on that, just piggybacking on that.
Yes.
And Sam, you're an old radio guy, or current.
Yes to both.
Yeah. And Kathy, you're a journalist. How do we've got to come up with a method that we instruct the people on the planet on how we determine facts, as opposed to the bullshit that gets made up. How do you just, we need to be able to, now, when I was growing up, you had to cite sources, and the sources had to be able to back that up, whatever you said.
It's funny you say that, because I watched last night HBO's 2-part series on Q.
Okay.
And my answer to you, Mark, is you're dealing with a generation of people who don't care.
Yeah.
I think the thing that people miss about Trump, and it's to me, it's so obvious, as long as he stays white, his followers are fine. Mm-hmm. They don't care what he says. He represents the same racist attitudes they have. So as long as he keeps talking about, what essentially white is right, this whole, Kung Flu and all this other horse shit that he did, as long as he does that, the facts do not matter. Look at Lindsey Graham. Lindsey Graham, I don't know if you saw this. I think I sent it to you, posing for a picture with the racist guy. I can't remember his name now.
Denmark?
The Netherlands.
In the Netherlands. Okay. Yeah. Proudly posing with this guy.
Yeah.
Right.
No, he doesn't care. Yeah. They care about getting reelected, because without them getting reelected, they have no income. What's Lindsey Graham going to do? Lindsey Graham, is a lawyer. I don't know where I think it was Joe's School of Law. I mean, these guys have no career if they lose. Yes. Yeah, it's in the back of the Horn and Hearted. No, they have no.
Not Joe's.
It's in the back of an Asian.
They have no career. So
you want to sue somebody?
I understand.
Come on down to Joe's.
You'll eat your heart out.
Or I will.
I understand what you're saying, but you're appealing to people who don't care about facts. They don't care. When Donald Trump says he won the election, that's just not true. It's just not true. They don't care.
Yeah.
They don't care.
I had a discussion with a woman just the other day about the situation in Georgia, where they had Trump on tape speaking to Rafflesberger, saying, I need 11,000 votes. And, we've all heard the tape. And
yes.
Well, no, that's not what he said. I said, it's on tape. He said, well, no, the New York Post retracted that story. I said, it wasn't the New York Post story. It was
it's on tape.
It's on tape. We have the tape. It's not what he said. And I thought, how do you reason?
Well, here's what I do with those.
Wait a minute. Now, as long as we're there, I'm thinking I was never for re-education camps in Soviet Russia or communist.
However,
now the Chinese are trying to brainwash the Uyghurs, and they want to un-Uyghurize, and I'm against that totally. But they're giving me an argument for re-education camps.
Truly, when you sit there,
in order to be re-educated, you have to be educated.
There you go.
And
there have been a lot of school districts that have dropped civics
classes.
Civics classes, I know that.
Yeah.
Well, here's what I do now, and I think at this stage of my life, it's important for me to feel better, to feel good, okay, and not do my heart out.
It's important for me that you feel better too. So.
I appreciate that. Thank you. And so what I do is when people talk like the person Kathy just mentioned, I look at them and I go, "You're a moron." Okay, you're an abject moron, and I can't talk to you anymore because if I keep talking to someone as stupid as you, my IQ drops, and I'm not going to allow that to happen. So you keep living your little fantasy with this jackass who, if you were drowning, would throw you a millstone.
Exactly.
You just keep doing that. Okay.
Yeah.
Because if you were any dumber, you pass out trying to tie your shoes. So I'm done.
Yeah.
And that's what I do. There's a woman in my building who is a doctor. All right, she's a foot doctor, but she's a doctor.
Yeah.
Come on, let's get real. And she said that Barack Obama is the worst president we've ever had.
Yeah.
What?
And I said to her, I said, listen, I'm sorry, I really am, but I can't keep talking to you because there's a level of stupidity here that can't be fathomed.
Yeah.
I just can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
And now, so when she sees me now on the street, and she lives like 50 feet from me. So when she sees me on the street, she says, "Do you feel bad about what you said?" I said, "I feel bad that you're an idiot." And so somebody, she has this little dog, a little, cute little dog, Ziggy. And Ziggy, she put it in Facebook that Ziggy died.
Oh.
And I wrote,
Sam,
Ziggy committed suicide. I said, I said, if you see your dog hanging from a leash, it's not death, it's suicide. I said, even the dog doesn't want to hear you. And she said, that really hurts my feelings. I said, how do you think the dog feels? I said, you think it's easy to tie a noose with paws?
Oh my God. Well, so much for tenant of the year in your building, Sam. That ship sailed.
Oh God!
But here's what
I do not want to live in a community that has a tenant of the year. That just.
That's why I won't live in. That's why we talk about moving sometimes, like to a suburb. In New York, like Haverstraw, places you may not know, Beacon, really pretty nice. Not suburbs, towns north of New York. They're not suburbs. But towns north of New York, self-contained town. And I told Barbara, I said, I'll do that. I said, but I am never living in a retirement community because it is guaranteed there are going to be people in that community who think Trump is Jesus. And I can't do it. I can't walk by those people every day. I can't do that.
Yeah. But can we go back to the journalist thing?
Yes, please.
I really think journalists need to be trained like lawyers in that they never ask a question they don't know the answer to. And when Trump would stand up there and say, well, there are no new cases of COVID, and the reporter should, respond with, no, according to the CDC, there were 500 of them today. They've got to have the.
But he'll just say fake news.
Well,
he'll just say fake news.
Yeah, but
they keep hammering away with, I've got the answer to the question and you're not answering.
They should just say, you're lying. That's what they don't do.
It took them 4 years to use that word. What
Kathy said, though, what I would like to see is when you ask a question to the president, your lead litigator, which is, I guess, what you'd be if you're acting, would just keep asking the questions and let the other people take. You got a reporter has taken notes of what the guy's saying, rather exact words, rather than listening to what he's trying to get you to take the bullshit you're willing to take. So if it was like a litigating a trial where you'd have 3 other attorneys behind you, they'd be able to feed you questions. It's just like when the guy's in front of a subcommittee in front of Congress and he's got his lawyer with him. They always put their hand over the microphone. Doing something. I mean, that's really how those should go.
Exactly. There should be another reporter behind him saying, to follow up on what Jack just asked.
To follow up on what Bob said. Exactly.
Occasionally you see a reporter do that, where especially
not often enough.
No, you're right. It isn't often enough.
Yeah, and then they ask some dumb question. This guy asked a great question. You got to follow up on it.
By the way, how great is this press secretary?
I like her.
Well, she takes
She is fun. Boy, did you see what she did to Steve Ducey's son?
Oh God, that dork.
Yeah, he is. Can I tell you something? This is how stupid they are. 6 Asian women are shot to death by this goon, right?
Yeah.
The next day, Steve Ducey is talking about getting a COVID shot. He says, all right, which, as we all know, started in China.
Oh, God.
The next day.
Yeah.
But these are people, by the way, I'll give you an example of something. This moron, what's his name? Dan Bongino.
Oh.
Okay, who I think he's going to replace Rush Limbaugh.
Yep, exactly.
Oh, wow.
Okay. He was criticizing, goes, these Ivy Leaguers. He went to Princeton and Harvard.
Damn, you're kidding.
And no one calls him on this. And if they did call him on this, no one would say anything. Yeah. They just, when I worked at Fox News, as you might imagine, they hated me because I said, I said this on the air. I said this on the air to a guy. I said, I can't rehearse being as stupid as you. I said, I can't believe, I don't know how you walk. And so during the break, he said, you say something like that to me again, I'm going to punch you in the mouth. And I was scared, but I said to him, I can't believe I said this, but I said, if you hit me, you better kill me. Because if you don't kill me, everything you own will be in my name. Everything. And everything your children owns will be in my name. You will be not only stupid, but broke.
Yeah.
And somebody else on the panel put their hand on his wrist and let it go, let it go. And so when we got up, he said, would you really have sued me? I said, till your mother cried. And so they took me off of that show. And they put me as a guest contributor on Hannity and Combs.
Wow. And Alan Combs, yeah.
And during the break, Hannity said to me, you've got to really calm down. I said, it wigs you out that there's 2 Jews on the show tonight. Is that it? That's what's eating at you, right? Like it's eating at you like rust on a pipe, isn't it? You can't believe it. Now I got to deal with 2 Jews, and none of them are disciples. It must be eating you alive. Oh God! But like I've told.
Oh no!
Oh no! Sam, come back.
Awesome.
We need Sam back in.
Oh man, that was good. Oh man.
Yeah.
Shoot.
I have to apologize for looking at a phone. I have my granddaughter is flying in from Memphis tonight, and she's sitting on the plane, and they can't get the door open.
No, I've been there before.
And somebody's waiting to pick her up. She's like, "Can you text him and tell him?"
That's not. You know what? That's not nearly as bad as the door comes open when you don't want it to.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I said. It could be worse.
He's back. He's back.
I don't know what happened. All of a sudden I was playing Word Quiz.
Bringing this back to without going off of this topic, but bringing it back to shows we stream. We've been watching The Crown. And I've gone through 3 seasons.
Watching
now.
What? I'm sorry?
The Crown.
The Crown.
Oh, that's so great.
And I've gone through 3 seasons now, and I'm still not sick of it. But one of the things I thought, when Wilson becomes the prime minister, and he's the leader of the Labor Party, and that was the time when the Conservatives, the Tories, tried to get Mountbatten to lead a revolt.
Right.
And of course, the Queen and the Prince and the family had nothing to do with it, and basically scolded him and everything. But I thought that was kind of interesting. It was like, they're like, the socialists are going to ruin our. My son, they're going to ruin our country. And the Queen is backing the Labor Party. I just thought that was interesting.
They had a screening of The Crown that, because I'm in SAG, I was invited to, and the entire cast was there. For a Q&A.
Yeah.
And
fun. Yeah.
It was great. It was wonderful.
Yeah.
Helena Bonham Carter.
Yeah. Wasn't she
by
great?
the way, it was wonderful. But I want to tell you this joke. I have to tell you this joke. The Queen and Princess Diana are driving along a country road in a Rolls Royce, and a highwayman comes out of nowhere and pulls a gun on them and takes the car and takes some of their possessions. So they have to walk back to Buckingham Palace. And the Queen says to Diana, "I notice that you still have some of your jewelry." And she goes, "Yes, Your Majesty, I'm embarrassed to say, but I hid it in my privates. And Your Majesty, I notice you still have your scepter and crown." And she goes, "Yes, well, I'm older than you. I hid it in my privates." And then the Queen thinks for a minute and says, "It's a pity Margaret wasn't with us. We could have saved the car."
Yeah, you're stuck. Are you recording when you pick it up?
Isn't that great?
That's a good one.
I love that. I love that joke.
Save the car.
But they were wonderful. They were great.
No, our mom's not paying us half the utilities.
Your son's not stuck on a plane out of Metro, is he?
No, there's a family issue that's not, nobody's life is in danger. So
Good. Okay.
Done.
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
But it's the type of thing that it's the type of thing where you like to let your kids fall in their face once in a while, because they're not going to learn if the parents do everything for them, and then sometimes it goes a little bit too far, and then you have to go. Then you have to go in and pull them out.
Yeah, throw in that life preserver.
It happens. It's a good argument against having 8 kids.
Listen, it's a good argument against having one.
Oh, you know what though? If I had only one kid, it would all be constant. We'd be blaming ourselves. By having 8, it's kind of like, it's not us. Look,
that's true.
I think having 8 lets you off the hook.
It does.
I can't.
You have
brother that did it. What could we do?
Exactly.
To be perfectly honest with you, you don't raise 8 kids. You raise the first 3, and then the 3 raise the last 4.
Yeah.
Then you're done.
That's pretty much.
Yeah. As I've always said, it's a hell of a lot to go through just to have something to do on Mother's Day. It's just wait, too much. Yeah.
Sam, you only got one kid, right?
I have one child.
And an adult now, right?
22.
There you go.
I love that line that Carol Leifer has. Carol Leifer says, "I don't have any kids, at least none that I know of."
That's got to be one of the top 100 lines in all of stand-up comedy.
I can't believe, she's been involved with a woman for years now.
About 30 years, I think, right? That sounds about right.
I don't know if it's that long, but it's she was married to Rich Scheidner.
I sure do. I sure do.
I want to see what's going on here. Okay, so Michigan, is anybody taping this game? I'll give you an update.
Oh, give me an update, because I'm kind of
Michigan with 5 minutes and 51 seconds left. Michigan is up by 8.
They'll win.
I'm sorry, up by 6.
They're playing LSU.
Yeah, but they were up by 1 at the half.
You guys talk about basketball. It's never over to like the last 30 seconds. The last 30 seconds is a whole.
By the way, Chicago Loyola
12 minutes.
beat Illinois.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they have that nun sister. I don't know her name.
Sister Jean.
Yeah, the 101-year-old one.
Sister Jean. Yeah.
I wish they would do this on Saturday Night Live.
They will.
Chicago Loyola loses, right?
Right.
And they all go over to hug her. And she goes, "Get the fuck away from me, you loser pieces of shit."
I did everything I could, and you didn't pull through.
Hey, you know what?
You're no Catholic, you heathen.
They made it to the Sweet 16, and because there wasn't a tournament last year, they're now. So I guess they can get credit for last year too, since they didn't have a tournament.
Yeah,
they have not been lower than the Sweet 16 since 2018 or something like that.
Yeah.
So,
well, if you're a kid,
2017,
if
you're a kid from Chicagoland,
right now,
you can go to a competitive school, in your hometown. I mean, that's a big deal to people.
That is a big deal. Remember, DePaul used to win championships for the Chicago
with Ray Meyer.
Yep.
Well, they didn't win championships, but they were always competitive.
Yes. Yeah. Well,
but once he left, it was and then his son took over, and that went nowhere. Okay, there's 5 minutes left, and Michigan is up by 6.
I can put a window up here.
It doesn't matter until the last 30 seconds. In the last 30 seconds, there's always 2 points here, 2 points there. It never gets beyond that. And it's just I get frustrated with basketball because of that.
The thing that bothers me is the last 2 minutes take a half hour.
Well, exactly. It's sort of like the last football too. Yeah.
Isn't that great though that you can say to your wife, "There's only 2 minutes left. Can't we just watch the end till the end of the game?"
Oh, now it's a 4-point lead.
Oh God! Michigan's biggest fan is sitting in the next room from me. I want you to know, and they better win this game because.
Is he screaming?
He's controlling himself.
I can make it.
Oh jeez!
I can make it.
Does anybody have a bracket?
Oh, wait a minute! No, it's not a 4-point lead. The basket didn't count. Offensive foul, so it's still a 6-point lead.
There we go.
Okay. All right.
No,
and
4.5 minutes. 4.5 minutes
is an eternity.
An eternity. Trust me.
Yeah, we'll still be here tomorrow.
This is the first year I haven't coached a basketball team since 1991.
8-point lead.
There we go. Go Wolverines. Anyway, guess who I still have in my bracket, Andy, since you're the other sports gambler here? I got Oral Roberts.
Oh.
I picked Oral Roberts to beat both Ohio State and Florida. I think I'm the only one in the country that did that.
Wow.
You know Michael Graham.
Wow. I know Michael Graham. Oral Roberts graduate. He and Kathy.
He transferred, I think.
Oh, did he?
But here's what happened. He said that his mother would send him a care package, as mothers do, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he'd come back to his room, and no one locks their door at Oral Roberts. I mean, you wouldn't lock your door. Mm-hmm. And there'd be some guy on his floor eating the food in that care package. And Michael would say, "What are you doing? This isn't yours." And this is what they would say. This is almost a standard response to that. "But if I asked you for it, you'd give me some. You forgive me, don't you, brother?" And Michael would say, "No, I don't forgive you, and I'm going to punch you in the nuts if you don't get up and leave my room." So he was considered a troublemaker.
But can you imagine the guys like from Ohio State sitting there thinking, "We lost to Oral Roberts"? I mean, how is this possible?
9-point
lost
lead
to Gonzaga. We couldn't.
But you know what? You know what though? I mean, the thing about basketball is, if you have one opponent, which is why you'll see these lower seed teams beat the upper seeds in the early rounds, but they don't go that far because they don't have enough time to really dig into all these teams, and they don't know who they're going to play the next game because they don't know who's going to win those games.
Right. Yeah.
But, I mean, if you have a coach that says, if I can convince my team to do these things and stick to this game plan, and you catch Ohio State on a day when they think all we have to do is get ahead by 8, and they'll do these things. We found in the films that when they get behind, they'll start doing these things, and you can predict that. You know what I mean? You can predict that stuff. Yeah. You can get them in foul trouble. You can get somebody off their game. You can get people out of the game because they only allow 5 fouls in basketball.
I want them to find the guys who threatened that kid from Ohio State.
Yeah.
I want them to find them. I want them to do time.
Who threatened the kid from Ohio State? I missed that story.
When they lost, this kid, a player on the team, got death threats.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
All right.
Saw it on TV.
All
Yeah.
right. So the first 5 re-education camps in Ohio. We're going to put them in.
Right.
We're going to put them in Ohio.
Now,
Yeah,
now
there you
I gotta qualify Ohio for a second here. Okay. I got on the Kroger app for getting a COVID shot, and my friend got me a COVID shot in Maumee, Ohio. So I got my first COVID shot in Maumee, Ohio. And I didn't realize that was possible, but I went through the corporation of Kroger. So had to drive down. Apparently, Ohio is an open state. They'll take in out-of-towners.
Huh.
I got my second shot on Wednesday.
Nice.
I've got mine on Thursday.
I got mine. I got my first shot on Friday. I go back in 3 weeks.
And I got it in that Orthodox Jewish neighborhood where no one on the street is wearing a mask.
Exactly.
No one.
Jeez.
Well, I made sure I wore
when
my
I say
red.
no one. You know. And then I had a part in a TV show that we filmed, Pose, it's called. And
What was it called?
Pose, P-O-S-E.
Pose? Okay.
It's on Fox. It's on FX rather.
Oh.
And I played a grandfather whose son is married to a man, and they had a kid through, artificial insemination, not artificial. What am I trying to say? Surrogate. And the woman who played my wife, the grandmother, there's something bizarre wrong about her. There's something bad going on, because we started filming at 5 p.m, and we didn't finish up till 2 p.m. But what they do for you, which was great, is you got an Uber to go home. They gave you an Uber.
What?
Which is wonderful.
Nice.
And so
Which one?
there's a rule on movie shoots and TV shoots, and the rule is this:
I think so.
the tech crew eats first.
Mhm.
When you break for a meal, the tech crew, and it should be that way, okay? They get there before you. They're going to be there after you. They work their asses off, so they should absolutely eat first. When they've all gone through the line, then the actors can do, and I'm fine with that. Always have been.
Yeah.
So we're sitting there, and we really didn't get anything to eat. I mean, there was what they call a thing outside where you could get wraps and stuff like that, and that's all I wanted. I'm not looking to stuff my face at midnight, okay?
Mhm.
But next to us, when we were sitting waiting for the show to end, was a stack of sushi, boxes, okay? And she takes one. And I said, I don't think that's for us. And she goes, I don't give a shit. I'm hungry. I said, no, you're missing the point. I think those are specifically designated for the tech crew. She said, you're not listening to me, okay? So let me tell you, she was really crappy. Let me tell you this again. I'm eating this. And out of nowhere, this huge black hand comes up and gently takes the box from her and says, no, you're not eating this. And he takes it away from her, and he reports her to the producer.
Wow.
And this is what she says to me. You squealed on me. I said, I've been sitting next to you for an hour, schmuck.
Yeah, I'm on the podcast.
What are you talking about? I squealed on you. All right, 2.5 minutes left. Michigan's up by 8.
Hey, Michigan's got 2 7-foot freshmen. I think if they do
Twin
well,
Towers.
Yeah, I think you're going to see college basketball. If they do well in this tournament, I think you're going to see a shift back to the big men.
How do you grow a 7'1" kid? I mean, what's
water and Miracle Grow.
2 6
Miracle Grow.
Parents. Yeah.
Radiation. There you go.
yeah.
Well, Jabbar's mother was 6 feet tall, and his father was 6'3".
And he became 7'2".
You know, I want to tell you, when I was a waiter, this couple came in with their daughter. Okay, they were from Lithuania, which for reasons I can't explain grows very tall people. He was 7'2". His wife was 6'9". But the amazing thing was the daughter was only 5'4".
Huh.
She was 5 years old.
Oh,
5 years old. You got that? She's my height, and she's
Oh, my
5'4".
Wow.
That's a little scary. Yeah.
How do you think I felt? They said, "Can our daughter?" I said, "Your daughter can get anything she wants. Don't hurt me."
Don't have her hurt me.
They were the nicest people. But you know,
Yeah.
if you're 7'2", what do you have to be a prick about?
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Truly.
True. Yeah.
There's nothing for you to be a prick. You know, the wife is the thing I worry about for people that height is they have they have more problems with their heart.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's that?
You know.
Marfan syndrome or something? That
Marfan
people-
syndrome. Yeah.
Yeah.
The lower half of your aorta will like split apart.
Yeah.
Mhm. So much-
Two basketball. This is years ago. This is like 40 years ago. 2 basketball players from Maryland, same team, died within a month of each other. I'll never forget Chris Patton and Owen Brown, and they weren't giants. They, by basketball standards, they were 6'8" and 6'9". You know, they weren't the tallest guys on the team.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Michigan's up by 8 with 1:55 to go, and
Oh,
Michigan
okay.
has the ball.
Yeah,
So I believe LSU is going to have to.
foul. Here comes the foul.
Yeah, but they're not fouling
Fouls.
at all.
Hmm.
They're playing this like it's the game.
Did they change the rules in college basketball? Because it seems like they get the 30-second clock, but if the team shoots it and the offensive team gets a rebound, they only reset it for 20 seconds. When did that change come in?
I don't know. That's a good question. I have no idea.
It's a good. I like the rule because what it does is it. You know, if you get your own rebound, you don't get a whole 30 seconds. They give you 20 seconds to get the second shot up. You know.
I want to tell you something. Juwan Howard, who I like a lot, okay, bitches about every play. The camera comes on him and he's like, every play. Jesus, pick your spots.
That's a Big Ten thing. Because you'll find Tom Izzo does the same thing. Watch the Big Ten. Watch Big Ten. Big Ten coaches whine a lot.
Yeah.
Just for your information, we're at 1 hour and 12 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You know what?
That's
I've got a kid locked out of the house. I got.
Good for you.
You know.
Yeah.
Are you bragging?
No, I'm in Florida. She's in Michigan. And, you know,
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Because I was going to say, if you got a kid locked out of the house and you're in the same house, then that says something really bad about your
break
kid.
a window. It's time to break a window.
Well, that plus with Michigan winning, I think I'm going to get good sex tonight. So I gotta wrap this up.
Holy guacamole!
Wow.
I just thought
Go
I'd throw
Ohio
that up.
State.
Yeah.
The only time I get good sex is during the equestrian events during the Olympics. So
The only time
Hey!
I do is when I'm alone.
Yeah. It takes us all the way back to masturbation got now. There we go.
That's
Full
right.
Circle.
There
There
we
you
go.
go. Yeah, I got to get this kid in the house.
all right,
I will
We'll
see
see
you
you
guys
next week.
next
Okay,
week.
now
all right.
there's
See you next week.
44 seconds left, and Michigan's up by 6.
Ooh, that's a lot
Whoa.
of time.
That is a lot of time.
They
For
do
6 points. That's only 2 3-point shots.
exactly.
That is correct.
Yeah.
So Michigan has to score on this trip down.
Yeah.
How much time left?
44
44.
seconds.
I mean,
Yeah,
3
there's only
hours. in our
2
time.
seconds. Yeah, they should score this time. They're in trouble.
If they score this time, I think the game is over.
Well, that'll put
Yeah.
them up with 8. That'd put them up by 8. Yeah. Once you start forcing the other team to foul instead of shooting,
But it's
then-
amazing to me. Michigan never even okay, so we're back. It's Michigan's ball. They both have 10+ fouls, so
So it'll be 2 shots.
any foul now will result in going to the line.
Uh-huh.
They both have 1 timeout left, and there seems to be a plethora of African American players on the floor.
Really?
You know where that wasn't true? The women's Iowa State team, entirely white in the whole team. Yeah.
Are you surprised?
I am surprised. There's black players on the Utah Jazz. I mean, yeah, I'm surprised.
Yeah, that's true. And Oral Roberts.
That's a pro team, though.
Well, no, it doesn't surprise me with Oral Roberts because African Americans are religious. They have,
I'm saying bring them young. That's what I meant to say.
Oh, Brigham Young, yeah, and they have black players there.
Yeah, they can't get to heaven, but they can play basketball there.
BYU lost.
Okay, so there's 31 seconds left. LSU put the ball up. They missed. Michigan got the rebound. Michigan was fouled. They're going to the free throw line.
Yeah, that's the way. That now it's going to be 8 more minutes of this crap.
And I'm watching the players jump up and down. Excuse me, the fans jump up and down like the game is over. There's 31 seconds left.
That's
I see. I see why now. They're idiots. Okay, I couldn't figure that out.
And Michigan's up by 6.
By 6.
With 30 seconds. Oh.
With 31.3 seconds to go.
Okay.
And they're at the free throw line.
I would assume they're at the free throw line.
Well, if they got fouled and there's 10 fouls, yeah, they'll be at the.
I'll tell you who got fouled. The LSU player put that ball up and they didn't call it. He got hammered.
Hmm.
But what are they having, a prayer meeting? Shoot the ball. Oh, Jesus.
All right, what do we got? We can go off live and discuss this.
Okay, yeah, let's do that, and I'll cover the game for you.
All right, we got Sam covering the game for us. The rest of you can just turn on your TVs on CBS and watch it. We'll see you all next Monday night at 8 o'clock. Bye, everyone. See ya.
Bye.
Bye. Get